Là, on est dans une des pièces les plus importantes de l'usine avec l'un des hommes, sinon l'homme le plus important de l'usine, à savoir Yann. Yann, c'est le cofondateur et puis le copropriétaire de Hope aujourd'hui. Et donc, il va nous parler un petit peu de sa vision. Yann, can you share with us a little bit of the vision behind Hope, where it's going and like where it's from? Because there is some challenges keeping the core values and the roots of Hope with all the challenges of competition, new products, evolution. Can you take us a little bit through that?
I think, well, originally, just a quick recap on where we actually came from. It was Simon and myself were motorcycle trials riders. We trained on bicycles when they first came out. There was Muddy Fox and British Eagle. They were all, and they were very basic, not very good, but we trained on those bikes. And then when we started in engineering, we were making aircraft parts. So we made aircraft parts for Rolls-Royce and British Aerospace, making the jet engines. So we worked in that. And we were training on the bicycles that weren't very good, but our trials bikes, our motorcycle trials bikes, had disc brakes on. So that's what we thought we could miniaturize those and put them on to the bicycles. So we did that together, and we were the first ones with a company called Mountain Cycle in America. Sure. So there was Mountain Cycle and there was us, and we showed at Anaheim. And we had Gary Fisher put them on his bikes and Mert Lorwell and people like that. And we were the first people with disc brakes, but we only made 10 of them. And there were mechanical disc brakes, and there were 10 bikes at the Anaheim show. Mountain Cycle had one bike with them on.
For the San Andreas?
San Andreas,
yes.
That's it, the aluminium San Andreas. And they thought that we were an enormous company that had thousands of brakes, but we'd only made 10. All 10 were at the Anaheim show, and it was a big deal. This was a long time, 30 years ago. And since then, it's evolved over the years. So we carried on doing some automotive car parts and aerospace, but then the hubs came. We started doing the hubs because we had to mount the brake onto something. So we made the hubs specially. They took off. Then we did headsets. We just gradually widened the range out. And obviously then the hydraulic brakes. And that's progressed on. And so we eventually stopped making aerospace parts and automotive parts and concentrated solely on bicycle parts, predominantly disc brakes and hubs. But since then, what we tended to do, if we had to buy a lot of something, so as the staff grew, 30 people, 40 people, 50 people, so if we're all riding bikes, so we had lights, wanted lights to go riding at night. We didn't like to buy other people's lights. That's why we made lights, because we wanted our own lights. We had to buy other bits, so we made headsets, and it progressed on. So we designed more and more. Totally wrong strategy if you want to build a big company. You shouldn't diversify. So we should have concentrated on one thing, but we enjoyed doing it, and it was all about enjoying riding bikes, enjoying making parts, and it was great. So in the past, we've been in yearbook reviews where we're sort of within the top 5 or 10 product reviews on 15 different categories. And for a small company with now 150, 160 people, to go against these massive conglomerates, the enormous companies, it was a great feeling. And I think that's what stuck with us for years. It's just nice being able to make nicely engineered parts that work, that last. And you've seen the environment we're in, which is a bit wet and muddy and tough going, rocky. And so we make strong components. And the idea is to make parts that we don't ever get back. We don't want them coming back. You want to make sure they're right and solid and work well. So sometimes we don't always go for the lightest. Sometimes just make sure they work really well and last. And if you're a biker, any kind of bike, a gravel bike, a mountain bike, a road bike, you don't want to. You just want to ride your bike. You don't want the hassle, and that's what we are. We just want to enjoy riding bikes, and that's I think how it's gone forward. But over the years, we're very cautious. We've grown slowly, and we've never ever made anybody redundant. No one's ever been laid off. And it's sort of, we used to have a saying that only the paranoid survive. We're a bit paranoid about that, and we stick with people. As Lauren, our apprentice Stuart, we've been with Lauren for years and years, and people always tend to stick with the people we're with. Same as the staff, we like to look after them and stick with people. And we've never had massive debts. So we own the building, we own all the machines, We have some money in the bank, keep it safe, and look after staff, look after people, look after the product. And that's what we've had lots and lots. Every week, someone tries to buy in or buy us out. Or there's so many, you know, they come in their suits. We call them suits, talking suits. And I think the bike industry has had a phase, especially around the COVID time, when everything was going really, really well. A lot of the finance people came in and they love cycling. So they wanted to buy these biking brands and they just swallow them up. And the personality disappears instantly. And we want to try and keep the personality of the business there. And so it's still owned by Simon's widow and family and myself. There's no other shares to anybody else. It just stays with us. And we could be much bigger. We could make lots more. How much money do you need? You know, it's nicer to be comfortable with no debt, everything paid for. The only thing about that, it's not very adventurous, you know. But do you need to be that way? And a lot of people talk about the environmental impact and where things are. And I think it's far better. We do that with ours. Naturally, you end up doing that. If you're looking after your staff, so you want to create a good environment for your staff. You're into cycling and recycling, and we've always done it. You know, all our materials recycled, everything's done. So we don't need to go on about it continually. Just keep clean, tidy, sustainable, and it's a natural thing. You know, it's just a natural thing. And you know, saying about that, a lot of companies going about that. We put solar panels on the roof just to save money. You know, it's a cheaper way of doing it. You know, it's great, it's environmental friendly, but it's all the right thing to do. Do the right thing. And I think that's one of the things about, if we had an investor come in or a bank that controlled us, they don't understand the industry. People will know that. They'll see companies going bankrupt. Recently, big companies have gone bankrupt. And some of the actions that they do for their customers, it's awful what they've done to them, things like that. So,
And it looks like if you had investors and financial investors, you wouldn't be doing some of the amazing projects that you are doing here, such as the HB track.
The crazy plans, all the crazy plans. If you work, we say we don't have a financial director. We just know, and what we say, if we know it's costing a lot of money, we say, don't tell me, I don't want to know. We just enjoy doing it. And we've had some great fun with that track bike. And when we saw that on the track in Paris, we were there, and the first time, because it had been in Tokyo before, but no one got there. But we went to Paris, and the feeling of pride, and that came out on the track. My wife was in tears. And it just so emotional. It's just a wonderful feeling, and there's no price.
There's no price for the emotion.
It's not. It's not about, and it's not about publicity either. It's very nice. It got recognition, and I love that the people that work here are then recognised and get the recognition internationally that they deserve.
And I can also imagine the pride of the employees. And it's a motor. It's a drive for also. Motivating and making the employees committed to what they are doing here.
And it's giving them free rein to do silly projects. As we talked about earlier on, the electric trials bike, which was the maddest thing ever. We should never have done it. We have quite a few projects we've done that are completely crazy, and it's just good fun. And they don't go anywhere, but it's enjoyable. But we don't work it out. If you worked it out, luckily, an old accountant that used to help us, it used to say, and you can do these things because we have what we call a little bit of wool on our backs. You know, a bit of money behind you, and you can do that. And if we were indebted, you know, owing people lots of money, risking things and expanding too quickly and building big factories and going on, you wouldn't be able to do these adventurous things. So you build security, and now we own the CNC machines, so we can make creations. And how much does it really cost? That's the thing. So that's how we're able to compete. Our calipers are machined beautifully. If you see a superbike race caliper, the CNC machine, they're €2,000 each, you know, and it's the same work that goes into it. And we've had big brake companies coming here and looking and saying they could never compete because it's all paid for. So what does a machine really cost to run? And some people won't turn the machine on unless they're getting €200 an hour. And you just don't need to do that. It doesn't work like that here because we own them anyway. One person can run 5 or 6 machines, and efficiently, and look after the staff. Like I said, everybody's got bikes, they all ride, so and just enjoy it. You know.
Tell me about the presence in Barnoldsvik. It looks like it's in the DNA of the company, and it also helps you to keep grounded.
Yeah, well, really, it's just it's all about enjoyment, enjoying what you do, and we're doing all different branches. We do too wide a range of products. We do too wide a range of things, but who's to tell us what to do? There's no one to tell us what to do. So, you know, to go from track, big companies don't go into the track. They don't mess around with the track. It's such a small thing, but it's great to see and it's exciting. But we love the gravel, we love the mountain biking, we love the downhill. You know, MS Racing, the rest of it, it's fantastic. It's really thrilled for us to see them and help them. So we just do the whole range. But we also get involved in organised events, which we shouldn't do. So that costs a lot of money. We do we sponsor a lot of mountain bike events. We did the last weekend was the women only enduro, and with 250 women only in an enduro. We run that every year. We run the Supercross, which are 4 races, next to it cross racing. So it's a very broad range of actual races and things going on. And I think it keeps people interested, you know. And it's yeah.
Tell me about what's your vision for Hope, considering all the past, what you've done before? Where do you think it's going to go now?
Just more of the same. I have no great plan and no great plan to retire or just keep it going. Just you only sell up or get rid of it if you're short of money or you're having to work too hard and don't enjoy what you're doing. And the team here is so good. I don't work that hard anyway. I like to come and go and ride when I want to. If you can ride when you want, how do you need a plane? Do you need a boat? You don't need these things. I've got a nice van, nice house, plenty of bikes. What more do you need? You know, it's true. You don't need. You know.
That makes perfect sense. Like, if you're happy with everything you have, what more do you need? But yeah, some people I don't know, want more money. They want, and because they have investors sometimes, and they they chase more. But
we've no need to do that because we've never had outside investors. But I like nice food. I like, you know, nice wine. I like things. But I can do all that. You don't need that extra. You know, it's enough. And money doesn't buy. Money does buy you happiness. It's got nice to have money, but too much, you get greedy, and you acquire more things. And I've done this before. You buy something, and it actually becomes a chore. You know, you want to enjoy what you have. It's no good buying big houses, it's just more work, but not necessarily enjoying yourself. I'd rather go out and ride the bike and enjoy life rather than So it's funny that way. And I've seen people strive, and then they get over 60 and and then start getting rid of it all. Actually, getting rid of things, and it's easier just to enjoy life and carry on. And I enjoy that you come in and that people here are happy with what they do. And it's never easy. People always want more money, more holidays, more things. It's the way it works, isn't it? And we try to be as good as we can for the people that work here. But that's one of my other pet hates, where people are buying these fake things, all different brands. People are faking them, copying them in the Far East. And I don't want to, it's great. They do some great things, but, have your own innovation. Don't just copy other people. And I don't know, I think people, when they're buying products that are made in Europe, the people that are making those products pay fair wages, they've got nice houses, they've got a lifestyle similar to what you have, and why shouldn't they have? Do you have to go for some cheap copy where it's slave labour, it's human rights are terrible, all that? And, I don't want to go into, but that winds me up when people talk, and that's what if a big corporation came in and bought that, the first thing they would do is just go and get them produced somewhere cheaper. And these big companies, like I said, I won't mention names, but the bikes do, and they move from China, they go to Vietnam, they go to Malaysia. Where's the cheapest? Who can we screw down now? And they'll say, oh, get somewhere in Africa, we'll screw them down. And they're India, they're pushing it, and it's just crazy. And it's like, even something like we have in Britain, it's like banks or power companies, and they'll say, oh, we won't have a call centre in England. We'll have a call centre in India. We can pay someone 2 rupees a day and a bowl of rice, and it's just pathetic. And why can't people run honest businesses, pay decent wages? And anyway, that's my rant.
No, that's okay. Tell us a little bit about the academy, because I heard this was something that you wanted to do and you're carrying. Tell us about that.
Well, the academy started, I was on a bike ride from Chamonix to Zermatt. The mountain bike ride. Me and Sam were on that. And I was riding and we just got time when we finished at the end of the day and just started making notes and things. And my son, Will, who's 26 now, he started off as a little child and he had a beautiful little Scott. It was an aluminium frame, but we put our disc brakes on it always. And it was sort of a child of the industry. You'll see them now and again from Specialized, from Trek, from anybody. And a child then has the best and trickiest thing. And you used to have them in the magazine to show one bike that was made. And what I said, why can't every child be a child of the industry, have nice trick bits, so whole bits all over the bike? And Woody, who works with, his son had the same. And I said, well, why can't we pass their bikes on to other people in the factory? And Will went from sort of a small child, he's now 6'8", he's had 15 bikes as he's grown up. And so that started me going with, let's make some really, just get the frames in and then put all the whole bits on. And you would never buy a bike of that. And we have a cheap company in England that sells cheap, very heavy bikes called Halfords. So ours, we call it an anti-Halfords campaign, because it's again a 30, I don't know, they're 20 kilos, some of these kids' bikes, and it puts children off. Right. So ours, hopefully, as they grow, they just swap the bikes, and as they grow, they get to ride a really nice bike, and it makes them love the sport. And the brakes work, the hubs work, everything works, and it's nice for our brand. It's nice for the brand. It's a good thing. It's advocacy, because we do a lot with children and so going to schools and things and exhibitions and shows, and it's nice that everybody comes on with the kids to it. So I'm not sure it ever makes any money because we put so much into the bikes, but it's one of those things we've never worked it out. It's an investment in feeling good. It's nice to see. You see an event where there's 50 kids riding the academy bikes, and if I see a picture of a child ride, I'll look to see if it's an academy bike. And you go to the forest and you're riding, and there's always 2 or 3 academy bikes there, and it's great to see these kids out doing this, and they could change the bikes. It's much better for parents, So yeah, so it was all to do with my son growing, being really tall as he's grown. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Ian. Thank you so much for your time and what you do here.
Yeah. All right. No, thank you for coming and filming it all and seeing what we do. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.